That's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Welcome back to the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is episode 20, and we're covering January through February 1998, leading up to No Way Out. I'm Mike Prue, along with JV. JV, I know what's on your mind. I know what you're going to say, but how you doing?
Oh, I'm feeling like a six-time champion.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't win, but I feel like it.
A six-time fan champ. Fan champ.
Yeah. We got just as much of a right to those things as those players, damn it.
That's right. We support them.
Yeah.
I want a ring, though.
Yeah.
Send out the ring.
Yeah, that's the trade-off. We don't get a ring. All right, but whatever. We get to claim this.
Yeah.
We get to own it like it's ours, and you can't say shit like, yeah, you're just a fan.
Fucking 6 Super Bowls. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's a boring-ass game, though.
Yeah, it was. The ending wasn't boring, though.
Yeah. No.
Because then they had to pull it out at the end, you know? So
yeah.
Anything could have happened at the end, so it was pretty intense there. But yeah, the first
it wasn't boring to me because we were fans, so we had like a stake in the game.
Right.
But like the average Joe has no stake in the game watching that.
Yeah, that sucks for them. Yeah. Like most people that watch a Super Bowl don't follow it throughout the year.
Yeah.
They're just tuning in because it's a big party thing. And they want to watch
the next
commercial.
Yeah.
When's the commercials coming on?
What was that? I hate when they try to guess the commercial. Oh, this is this. It's like, just shut up.
Oh, this is going to be a Geico. This is going to be a Geico commercial. I can already tell. It's funny.
This is the Bud Light one. Like, oh. Psych.
Oh, shit, it was Bud Light and Game of Thrones together. HBO joined in with Bud Light. Yeah, it's awesome. I was just looking back, at all the Super Bowls that we've been to, that the Patriots have been to since the first one we won back in 2002. And I was looking even further back. We had the one with the Packers when we lost.
Yep.
And obviously there was the Bears before that. But since 1997, since January of 97, the Patriots have not gone longer than 3 seasons not being in the Super Bowl.
That's amazing.
Ever since 97.
That's amazing.
Because in 97, they went back in 2002. Then they were back in 04 and 05. Then they went back in 08 and 12. So 8 to 12 was the longest stretch. 2008 to 2012 was the longest stretch of not making it. And then 15, 17, 18, 19. Crazy.
We're beasts.
Just
our franchise rules.
The average is basically like every 2 years you can expect the Patriots are going to be in the Super Bowl.
I think even the haters are just done now. Right. Like, I don't think there's any energy left in like that in those groups. I think they've given up finally.
Yeah. Well, they should. It's been 20 years of dominance. I mean, they've lost a few here and there, but overall in the league, they're the dominant league team for the last 20 years. Crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
Crazy. All right, so enough gloating. People are probably pissed off.
Get to wrestling already. Fucking can't get rid. Can't gotta see him on ESPN now. I gotta hear him on his fucking podcast.
It's like, all right, they're glad that the Super Bowl has gone by and it's over. So now we don't have to talk about the Pats anymore.
Yeah, it's not the first thing we talk about. What are we going to talk about now that football's over?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just to kick off the show. Yeah. Stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll think of something.
Yeah.
Sure as hell won't be Raw. That's on right now. Monday Night Raw.
No.
All right, so last week we covered the Royal Rumble. We also had our Royal Rumble watch along this past weekend too, and you guys came out. Our loyal listeners, we got our loyal number of listeners that they checked out last week's episode and they checked out the Royal Rumble watch along. So thanks for checking that out. We had fun doing that. It's always fun on a Friday night, and you can just sit back and watch some wrestling and do it buzzed.
Yep.
A little different than our Mondays. When we record on Mondays, it's the beginning of the work week. So
yeah, we're back to being civil.
Yeah.
But Friday, it's like we just get to, turn into complete animals. Like, just get out of our cage. You know, if you have a job, you know what the feeling is.
Right. The thing on Friday is like, all right, I gotta like pace myself after work so I can make it to the recording.
Yeah.
It's like, shit. And then last week you wanted to do it at 10, so I was like, oh, fuck, am I going to make it all night?
Yeah, I was out at a 40th birthday party. I'm like, oh, priorities. I gotta get home. Got to do this podcast. It was great, though. It was awesome because I was all buzzed. It was fun.
It was fun. It's fun to just watch a big, Royal Rumble match. It's great because it's all just goofy shit going on in that match anyway.
Yep.
And the match ultimately sucked. That was kind of the conclusion we got to by the end of it. It was like, wow, not one person in this ring looks like they should win the Royal Rumble. That's when you know it sucks.
It was bad. It was bad. They started off hot. Probably the best start in Royal Rumble history. And then it just fell flat after that. Like, I don't know. I guess it's like, well, how the fuck do we top Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack? Good luck.
Yeah, it wasn't happening. You had to wait until the end of the match to get Stone Cold in. Finally, get the crowd pumped up.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get into what we're going to talk about this week. As I said at the top of the show, we're covering January into February, so right after the Royal Rumble and building up to their February pay-per-view, which is No Way Out of Texas. Commonly just called No Way Out now, but originally it was No Way Out of Texas. That's what it was called. It's kind of revisionist history now. Nobody refers to it as that. But that's what it is. That's what it was.
Yeah, so back when Survivor Series had Survivor Series matches.
Yeah. Well, even at that point, it was starting to fade off.
Yep. No, that's true. Yeah.
Especially the one coming up here in 1998. 1998, they had a championship tournament, which I guess fits the theme of Survivor Series because you got to survive the tournament, If you lose, you're eliminated. I think that was 98. Yeah, that sounds right. Anyway, we'll get to it. All right, so let's just get into this here. So we just had the Royal Rumble. Steve Austin wins the Royal Rumble, so he's going to get a title shot. He's going to get his title shot at WrestleMania 14 against the winner of HBK versus Undertaker, which was a really good match. We told you to watch along. Well, not watch along, but during the watch along, we told you to just keep watching it after you listen to us talk about the Rumble match. So hopefully you guys check that out again. You saw a great match there. And HBK pulled it off and retained the title. So it's going to be Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14. So let's just pick up from there. And this brings us to Raw 243, January 19th, 1998, from Fresno, California. And Shawn Michaels is going to come out right from the jump and cut a little promo about Stone Cold Steve Austin's Rumble victory. So we'll play you that clip right now. Take a listen.
You can't argue with that, JR.
Now it's time to go to the list. Who's next in line for the Heartbreak Kid?
Figure it out, Einstein. Who won the Rumble?
If you are watching the Royal Rumble, everybody knows the winner of the Royal Rumble gets a shot at the World Wrestling Federation champion. So, Stone Cold Steve Austin. a former World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champion. Been there, done that, Stone Cold. Steve Austin, a former Intercontinental Champion. Been there, done that, Stone Cold. It seems as if there is only one more mountain for Stone Cold Steve Austin to climb. Not only is the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels at the top of that mountain, he owns that mountain because the Heartbreak Kid says so. Stone Cold Steve Austin, you got quite a winning streak going, son. But why don't you ask around in the WWF locker room? Why don't you ask The Undertaker? Why don't you ask every superstar in the World Wrestling Federation? Then get on the phone and call every wrestler that the Heartbreak Kid sent down south, and they will all tell you the exact same thing I am about to tell you. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Heartbreak Kid, lays down for absolutely nobody.
All right, so there you have it. HBK lays down for absolutely no one. That's what he comes out with there. And he goes on his little rant, and he kind of gave this similar type speech or promo not too long ago where he's saying, been there, done that. Been there, done that. You know, I won the tag team titles. I won the IC title. Been there, done that. I won the world title. So he's pointing out all the things that he's done that, you know, Austin did, but he done them too. Except for one thing. Austin's never had the world championship, and Shawn Michaels has had it too. A couple times already at this point. And he's never lost it.
Yeah, he's giving it up.
No. He did lose it to Sid. Yeah. That was the one time, right?
I forget.
I think that was what happened. Sid defeated him, and then he got it back from The Undertaker. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds right. No, yeah.
Yeah, Undertaker beat Sid at WrestleMania 13. And then Shawn Michaels... No. Yeah, that was all fucking screwy. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because early 97, you had all that title shit going on with Shawn Michaels dropped the title. So then they had the Final Four match. Yeah, whatever. So anyway, you have HBK. He's the champion. And he's just pointing out to Austin that I'm the mountain that you need to beat. I'm the man on the mountain. I am that mountain. I own that mountain. And because HBK says so. Something like that. He says Heartbreak Kid or HBK, whatever it was.
Yeah, he's really kind of like condescending to Stone Cold the whole time.
Yeah, right.
Like,
he says, son.
Like, indirectly. Yeah. He's like, you got quite a winning streak going on, son.
Yeah, being a dickhead. So I thought it was a good thing to do, though, the night after the Rumble, is to have the champ come out and, you know, talk to his challenger.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, and DX was kind of already in there doing their thing.
Yep.
Like a lot of dick puns and jokes prior.
Yeah.
To HBK really getting into this, so he was already kind of in the groove.
Yep. So from there, you know, the big thing going on, and besides Stone Cold winning, is this Mike Tyson talk. Mike Tyson's been around for a couple weeks here, and they've been mentioning him. What's his role going to be at WrestleMania? And then he was at the Rumble, and he said, "Cold Stone's my man."
Cold Stone's my man.
Cold Stone's man. So Vince McMahon's going to have a big announcement. He's going to have an announcement about Tyson. This is going to come at the 1 hour, 23-minute mark of the episode. And he claims that this is going to be the biggest announcement in WWF history. Mike Tyson comes out. He comes out with his posse, working out like a gang of men who all seem like very protective of him.
Yeah.
Must be bodyguards. Well. Right.
Yeah.
So he's walking out with his
swagger. And like some no-name rap song.
Yeah. It's probably created by Jim Johnson, who makes all the WWF music. So Vince is announcing that Mike Tyson's going to be here at WrestleMania in this ring on March 29th. And then right as Vince McMahon is about to give us more details, talk to Mike Tyson, Stone Cold's music hits, and he's coming down to interrupt this shit show. He's pissed off that Mike Tyson's getting all this attention. He just won the Royal Rumble. Nobody's giving him any attention at all about it. So he's going to come out and take the time for his Rumble victory to be recognized. So we're going to take a listen to what Stone Cold has to say to Vince McMahon, which leads to one of the greatest moments in the history of Raw, in my opinion. So let's take a listen to that clip when Austin ruins everything.
All right. Mr. Austin, why are you here?
Because I'm sick and tired of seeing Mike Tyson. He comes in, he's shaking everybody's hands, making friends with all the WWF superstars, and it's made me so damn sick I've been in the back throwing up.
Yeah, me too.
I ain't gonna shake your damn hand because I ain't out here to make friends with you. Mike, shut up. I respect what you've done in the boxing world, but Jesus Christ, son, when you step in this ring, you're messing with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that's something you don't do.
Yeah, you're on a different planet now.
Let me make it short and sweet. What I'm telling you is I want a piece of Mike Tyson's ass.
Whoa!
Shut up. Don't say one word, Vince. I'll knock your damn lights out, too. I respect what you done, Mike, but you're out here calling yourself the baddest man on the planet. Right now, you got your little beady eyes locked on the eyes of the world's toughest son of a bitch. I could beat you any day of the week, twice on Sunday. Do I think you could beat my ass? Hell no. Do I think I could beat your ass? Why, hell yeah. I don't know how good your hearing is, but if you don't understand what I'm saying, I always got a little bit of sign language, so here's to you.
SOB in the WWF. He's a rattlesnake, JR. You said it. Vince McMahon said you ruined it. You ruined it.
Tyson has been blown thanks to Steve Austin. McMahon's son Shane is having to restrain him. Mike Tyson being restrained in that corner there. Austin is physically having to get out of here. It is absolutely chaotic. This is pandemonium. Austin nailed one of Tyson's people.
Okay, so there you had it. Classic moment in the history of Raw, the history of Austin, the history of Mike Tyson.
Hell yeah. Yep.
So much good shit.
This is it's got such a big feel to it. It's just an epic
Yeah, it's huge.
segment going on. Yeah.
So what'd you think of it? What'd you like? What'd you got for notes?
I really liked it all. Right from the get-go, Vince McMahon, why are you here? Pissed immediately.
Right.
But there's also the funny parts, which you always bring up in prior episodes that we do, is Stone Cold's weird, how he has like an ass. He's always saying ass.
Fetish.
It always comes across. Yeah. And he's like, I want a piece of Mike Tyson's ass, which is kind of funny. And then he checks Vince. He threatens to knock Vince out.
Which he does all the time.
Yeah.
Like, shut up. I'll knock you on your ass.
One of the best parts is, as Stone Cold's kind of running his mouth, is Vince's facial expressions.
Yeah.
Like, so concerned and, like, it was good.
Yeah, because he's like, what?
Young Shane behind him.
He's like, what is he going to do? Why is he going to screw this up for me? This is my biggest moment.
Yep. Like a sad little kid,
Yeah.
But like a little angry.
His birthday party was ruined.
yeah, like someone he didn't want there got invited.
Yeah, I said I didn't want this kid here. He's an asshole.
I don't like that kid. He smells. But yeah, probably the quote of it is when Stone Cold says, "I could beat you any day of the week, twice on Sundays."
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Because I've used that like recently, you know. What I mean?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think I said it to Marty recently.
I'll beat you twice on Sunday, which is good for wrestling because pay-per-view is Sunday. So
yeah. What did you think?
I got?
Obviously, you got like you said, it's one of the greatest moments in Raw history, if not the greatest.
I just like right from the get-go. Austin comes out and he's saying, I'm sick of seeing Mike Tyson backstage making friends and shaking hands, making me sick. He wants to vomit. And then Mike Tyson sticks his hand to shake Austin's hand, and he's like, I'm not going to shake your hand. I'm not trying to be friends with you.
Yeah. Like, dude, I'm here to kiss your ass. Did you not hear what I just said?
And then he tells him, he respects him in the boxing world, but this is Stone Cold's ring, and he wants a piece of Mike Tyson's ass. But then the line that I love the most that sticks out is, you got your beady little eyes locked in on the world's toughest son of a bitch. Love that line. Those beady little eyes.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah, and then he continues from that. He says, well, in case you don't understand what I'm saying, I always keep a little sign language. So here's to you. Gives him the double birds. And then you get that reaction from Mike Tyson, like, huh? What? And then he pushes him.
He looks around, and there's actually people. That's where you can tell he's raw at this, because he's like, he looks around, but there's nobody where he looks. And there was plenty of people that he could have actually, like, looked at. So he could have, like, actually acted that out a little better.
Right, he's like looking at nothing.
Yeah, like he was in the mirror doing it. It's like, dude, you got people around you. Have to do is like turn like an extra 6 inches, and you can, hey,
let's look at your posse. Look at Vince McMahon. But still, I love it. It still comes off pretty cool.
Yeah, so of course it does. It's Mike Tyson. I think the fact that he does that actually probably makes it even better.
Yeah. Well, from there, that's when you get McMahon starting to flip out. You even got, as the chaos ensues, you got the whole ring is going shit. It's a big shit show. One of Tyson's guys drops like $100 of bills on the ground, and they're all like scrambling to make sure they pick them all up because he had a bunch of money on them.
Yeah, hey, Guy's balling.
So, and then, Austin ends up on the outside, but then you got Vince McMahon on the ring apron trying to kick Austin in the head. So it's just one of those classic moments. And then it continues on, and then they go backstage, and right as they're about to go off the air or go to a commercial break, you got Mike Tyson, who obviously not trained and doesn't know what to say, and
no, completely clueless.
He drops faggot on live TV.
Yep.
So,
and if you listen to him, he actually uses that word a lot.
Yeah.
Because after going through this, I'm like, let me check out some old Mike Tyson videos, like his crazy ones when he was a boxer.
Yep.
And man, his shit's raw.
Oh yeah,
too raw for raw.
Yep. Too raw for the world.
Yeah, really.
But yeah, you can see that if when he gets pissed or turns on the being pissed switch, he freaking goes nuts.
It's scary. It's so unpredictable. Like, dude, he bit a guy's ear in the ring.
Right.
Like, who does that?
And then there's other times where he's on Raw saying, I love Bruno Sammartino and the Valiant Brothers.
Yeah.
No, I love wrestling. And then he can turn into this monster.
Yeah, he should have been the Hulk. He goes 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah. So obviously that's an all-time moment there. We just did our top 5 of 97. I feel like this is hard to beat, to not make top 5 of 98.
Yeah.
It's a long year ahead of us, but this is one of the most memorable things. If I had to think about 1998, Mike Tyson and Stone Cold and all this build-up to WrestleMania is one of the first things that I remember about 98. So I think it'll be on my top 5, but we'll see in a couple of months. All right, so I did have some side notes. Let's get into a little side note action for Raw 243. Last week we had talked about how Paul Bearer came out and he was all disheveled and looked like he was on a big-time bender, Super Bowl type bender that some of us are feeling today.
All day. Still, they can't shake this thing.
So Paul Bearer comes out and he reveals that he was playing everybody. He should have won a damn Emmy for his acting job, he said. And that was about how Kane wasn't missing. He was just trying to mess with The Undertaker. And the previous night at the end of the pay-per-view, Kane and Paul Bearer burned The Undertaker in his casket, and he's missing. The Undertaker's gone now. It's like Undertaker died again, just like in '94. After the casket match at Rumble. Except he didn't go to the heavens. He didn't go descend into the heavens this time. He got burnt.
Yeah, he got burned alive.
So DX is going to have some fun with The Undertaker, at The Undertaker's expense throughout this episode. So they're going to say they're on the lookout for The Undertaker now. They're going to try to find him. And then a hearse arrives. And then DX is, looking at the hearse, wondering if it's The Undertaker. Then they open it, and then there's just a bunch of hookers inside the car. And then they pull them in, whatever, and act like they were banging them or something. Trying to close the door on it so the cameraman can't see what happens in there.
What happens in the hearse stays in the hearse.
Yeah. In the Hunter hearse. Hunter hearse Helmsley. So, and then it continues later on in the show. HBK comes out and he acts like he's the Undertaker. He's coming back down from the heavens. And you can't really tell because it's really dark. So they do a good job hiding it. It looks like it could be the Undertaker from the camera angle. And then when he gets down to the ring, the DX music hits, and then he starts just dancing with the Undertaker's coat and shit. And then eventually they burn that too in a barbecue grill. So I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, they should be moving on to Austin and Tyson, but I guess one night's not bad. Trying to gloat in their victory of defeating the Undertaker.
Yeah, they have to at least acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So that was a good way for them to do it.
And then the shit is starting to roll in 1998, and it starts with the return of a tag team from years before, like 4 years ago, the Quebecers.
They looked terrible.
Who the hell's the one? Who's the Mountie? Jacques Rougeau.
Jacques Rougeau, yep.
His hair sucks. Like, shave your
Big
head.
time. Yeah.
Like, I'll get the buzz cut back because you're just balding like crazy. You just have, like, there's a lot of hair, there's long hair, but then a huge bald spot. It looks like shit.
You got to know when to call it quits.
Right,
you got to know when to call it quits.
Like, get back your Mountie haircut.
Yeah, you can't have long hair anymore, bro. Not even you can't even have like medium hair. You can't have hair you have to comb anywhere on your head. If you even have to remotely touch it with a comb to do anything with it, it shouldn't be on your head.
So this is their return, and they're standing in the ring like jobbers, waiting for their opponents to show up. They're just sitting there without ringing entrance music, and they're just ready to go for the match. It's like, oh hey, it's the Quebecers again. You know, they don't even have their same Mountie uniforms either. Their costume. They have these shitty blue.
Yeah, and it's got like the
fuck.
maple leaf on the front, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Just doesn't look right. They don't fit in this time period.
No. Like they want gangs. They got biker gangs.
Right.
You know? So
then they get the Quebecers back. What the hell?
Yeah, like, stop it.
Did you have anything else you want to add to the side notes portion?
I had one. There's
right,
a sunny moment when she's all over Mike Tyson with Legion of Doom.
Oh yeah,
and it's I don't know, it's just kind of funny because she's acting like very promiscuous and
yep.
Hawk's like wicked excited. He's like, oh yeah, what a rush! It's like, oh, innuendo.
Weren't they like showing each other their tattoos or?
I forget exactly.
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's another thing. I mean, Austin talked about it, and I mentioned it, that he was sick of seeing Tyson shake people's hands. But basically, that's what they did after every commercial break, is they had Mike Tyson talking backstage to somebody else, meeting everybody.
Yep.
All right, so let's move on now to Raw 244, January 26, 1998, from Davis, California. So they're at the UC Davis campus. Did a lot of college campuses back then.
Yeah, they did. So just a lot of smaller venues too.
Right. So a lot of those small venues were colleges.
Yeah.
So here they are again. Like I said, UC Davis. They're gonna open the show with the huge media blitz of Tyson's appearance, and just huge. Like, the world went nuts for it. Like, what is Tyson doing in wrestling?
Yeah, this is huge. Yeah.
Especially because Tyson wasn't in boxing at this point because biting an ear off. So now he's back in the spotlight, but with the WWF. So they get a lot of attention for that throughout the country. So they're definitely going to take advantage of that and open their show with, oh, look at us, we were on this, we were on that. You know, everybody's talking about us. So a good way to start that show.
Yeah, Mike Tyson was a media, he just attracted attention in the 90s. That was who, he was the boxer.
Yeah.
He didn't even have to be the champion, but everyone cared about Mike Tyson because it didn't matter.
Yeah. So there's some speculation of what Mike Tyson's role is going to be, whether or not he's going to be a referee for the HBK versus Stone Cold match, or now is it possible that is it going to be Stone Cold versus Mike Tyson? Because now they have their little issue from last week. So this leads to a little HBK and Triple H segment, DX segment, and we're going to play that for you. So take a listen to that.
You know, granted, yes, I'm the showstopper, I'm the main event, I'm the icon, I'm the World Wrestling Federation champion, I'm a role model to millions, kids all over the world look up to me, parents writing me cards and letters, thanking me and to Generation X for the example that we set.
They're very thoughtful.
Well, they love us, and why wouldn't they? But see, It takes one bad apple to ruin it all, and that one bad apple is Steve Austin. Here, the World Wrestling Federation, the company that I single-handedly, all by myself, have been carrying on my shoulders to the top of this industry. And now Stone Cold Steve Austin ruins it. We have an invited guest. Mike Tyson is gracious enough to accept our offer.
Embarrasses us, right?
And Stone Cold Steve Austin goes out there and ruins it. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I forego my title defense at WrestleMania against Stone Cold and let Stone Cold and Iron Mike duke it out at WrestleMania to find out just who is the baddest man on the planet.
You know, that's a pretty good idea, but the only problem I have with it, Sean, let's face it, you're a modest guy. You're very humble. You don't like to put yourself over. I mean, you're very modest, all that stuff. It's WrestleMania, Sean. This is the granddaddy of them all. The big dance. You are the icon. You are the showstopper. You are the main event. You're the champ, beloved by little kids, adults, parents, children, everywhere. People love you. They love us. They love DX.
They do.
You gotta be there.
You're right.
You've gotta be there.
There's gotta be something that I can contribute to WrestleMania. Maybe I could handle Sable. No, geez, that'll make somebody mad. I can't do that. Maybe I could manage one of the minis.
Oh, they hate you. Remember that thing?
They got pretty upset with that. There has got to be something that I can do at WrestleMania. Something to help the World Wrestling Federation at WrestleMania. Is it hot in here? I am boiling up. There's got to be something. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't quite think. Oh. I got it. Special referee. I can special referee the match between Iron Mike Tyson and Stone Cold Steve Austin. That way, Stone Cold doesn't get out of line, Mike Tyson gets treated with the respect that he deserves, and everybody knows what a good job I do. Heck, just ask The Undertaker. I'm not only the greatest wrestler in the World Wrestling Federation, but I am also the greatest special referee. That's it. I will special referee the match.
The icon of the special referees, if you will.
WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels, Generation X. Coming your way. Right.
All right, so HBK there is teasing that maybe he's going to be a special referee. So it starts off with Triple H talking about how he's going to defeat Owen Hart later in the night. And he calls him Mr. Hangy, which little South Park
reference.
Yep. And a play on the Nugget.
Yep.
And he's going to flush him down the toilet. So then HBK gets into it, and HBK's reconsidering his title shot. He's saying, maybe I should just let them have at it first. Let Austin and Tyson have it out with each other. And Triple H jumps in and says, no, you're Mr. WrestleMania. You can't do that. You need to be there, but what could you do? And they're like, what can I do? What can I do? And meanwhile, HBK's wearing the referee shirt. I could be the special referee of the match.
Yeah, he's wearing it under his trench coat.
Right.
And he slowly backs up the trench coat as he gets up to talk to China.
Yep.
And it starts revealing it. I didn't really care for this segment. I thought it was pretty lame.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was dragging.
I included it in our discussion because I wanted to point out that maybe possibly it was going to be a different type of match at WrestleMania. Maybe maybe a plan short term. And maybe it was only for a week, and then they realized, we can't do that, and they scrapped it. But maybe it was going to be Austin versus Tyson if they could possibly do it, and then HBK could be the ref instead.
Yeah, and if worst case, if they can't do it,
then they just go back
promoting it as if and even if they lied,
right,
and they say they never had intent, you still want to position as if they're, there's a possibility of Austin and Tyson fighting because that's it's more marketable than having him as a special guest referee. That's cool, but when you can,
right, and especially since
just off the fact of something that's not, it's basically a fantasy match,
right, and especially since people just saw Tyson push Austin and they started jaw-jacking with each other, it makes people think, they're gonna fight. So they could just be playing off of that excitement to continue with it for a little bit, just to keep us guessing. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna be? But then Don King later is going to ruin it with his little interview segment.
Oh, I like the Don King stuff. I like Don King. He's so bad. He's good.
He's so phony baloney.
Yeah, he is.
You can just see it right through him that this guy's a fucking car salesman.
Yep. And I don't know why I enjoy every minute he's on TV talking.
And we definitely had to include his promo because when the hell is Don King ever going to be on the Bottom Line Wrestling
Yes,
Cast? So,
absolutely. It's a good one, too.
yeah. It's a quick one, too. So this one's just a minute. So take a listen to Don King promote. Big-time promoter promoting for the WWF here in this little audio clip here. Check it out.
Is Don King.
Last week, we almost seen Stone Cold and Mike Tyson go at it. They were right in each other's face. But what developed from that was an intensity of hostility so thick you could cut it with a knife. Mike Tyson wants Stone Cold. Stone Cold wants Mike Tyson. So we're going to bring these two forces together on March 29th. Oops, I forgot. The Nevada State Commission said Mike can't fight. So we got to respect the Nevada State Commission. We don't want to violate the rules. But Vince McMahon and I must come up with a creative scene that we can bring these two hostile forces together without violating the rules, but allowing the man to make a living. Mike Tyson and WrestleMania will come together on March 29th because we're going to create it, Vince McMahon and I, a way to do just that. Bring these two powerful forces together March 29th without violating the rules. So get there and be ready to get this event on pay-per-view. Pay-per-view, so call your local cable operator because you can't afford to miss this pleasure, this excitement, this hostility, this intensity of Mike Tyson and Stone Cold. We're going to make it happen some way or another. And though you watch it, we got an irresistible force against an immovable object, and something has got to give, and give it will. On March 29th on WrestleMania, and Mike Tyson, you be there, you be the judge. It's going to be great.
All right, there. So Don King pretty much gives us the bad news that probably not going to have Austin versus Tyson, but they're going to figure out a way for Tyson to be involved the best possible way that they can. So apparently, because of the Nevada State Commission, Mike Tyson can't compete in the wrestling ring because of his boxing suspension, but they're going to find a creative way to have him participate within the rules. So him and Vince McMahon, they're going to bring these two forces together for us. And it's funny because this is end of January. The match is pay-per-view. WrestleMania is 2 months away. And he's saying, well, call your local cable provider now.
Yeah.
Call your cable provider now. Tell them you want WrestleMania 14. Fucking 2 months
It's like
away.
it's the irresistible force versus an immovable object.
Yeah, it's like, thanks, Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah, exactly. He is, though. That's what he comes across as like a used car salesman.
Yeah, shyster.
That stereotype, you know?
Yep.
But every time I hear Don King, see his name, anything, I just always think of like one of the best mama jokes of all time.
Oh, okay, say it.
Your mama's armpit's so hairy, so quick she got Don King in a headlock.
Oh, yeah, your mama jokes.
Your mama jokes, those are funny.
I remember in elementary school I said one, and I had a hat on. It was at recess. I told the girl, I said, oh, your mama's so tall that when she does a cartwheel, she kicks God in the head. I think I heard that one In Living Color.
Yeah, I think all of them I usually heard on In Living Color. I think that one's from In Living Color.
Yeah, the Don King one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they got that Jamie Foxx is like the professional Yo Mama joke. Yo Mama.
Yep.
In Living Color.
So,
that was a fucking great show.
So I had
so many stars.
So I had the hat on, and the girl was so pissed at me that she took it and she threw it over the fence in the playground.
I know what fence you're talking about.
Yeah.
Which side? Street side or that random yard?
The one in the behind, like all the way just to the back, so it was into somebody's yard.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, now on the side, was the chain link fence.
Yeah,
That was elevated above,
like some random yard.
Yeah. Some
Yeah,
random
like
yard.
this massive yard, which you could get. Yeah, I remember that.
Elementary school. Jeez. Lincoln School. And not Abraham Lincoln, some Liontown Lincoln.
Yeah, Liontown Lincoln, which is now going to be apartments.
Yep. Apartments that are made to look like you're in an old elementary school. That's fucking weird. That's creepy in a way.
Yeah, I hope they're doing a good screening process. Those sex offenders and shit, some
Right.
weirdos. Oh, there used to be kids in this school? Like, you got like the guy from Family Guy trying to fucking get a 12-month lease.
Not Uncle. Hebert, though. Right?
Yeah,
Is that
that's his name? Herbert.
Herbert.
Yeah, Mr. Herbert.
Mr. Hebert. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Austin is not going to be very happy with that Don King little clip there. So he's going to come out and respond to that. And he's going to respond to what happened with Mike Tyson last week, too. So we'll play that clip, and then we'll talk about it after that. So take a listen to Austin's response to Don King.
Last week on Raw really pissed me off. Mike Tyson pushed me in front of the world and thought he was going to get away without a payback. That ain't happening. Mike Tyson, you're going to find out firsthand you don't mess with Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're supposed to be some kind of big tough boxer, and I don't really give a rat's ass about none of that. I said I wanted a piece of your ass. Supposedly, you want a piece of Stone Cold. So what I'm telling you is, I'll beat your ass up in your backyard. I'll beat your ass up in my backyard. Hell, I'll whip your ass in anybody out here's backyard.
And he
I'm
means
gonna
it.
send you a cell phone. I'll give you my beeper number, my phone number, and my address so that you can get in touch with me and let me know what you want to do. Because see, Mike, when it all comes down to it, I'll knock that damn gold tooth out of your mouth and make it into a necklace for Stone Cold.
Wow. Whoa. Getting pretty strong now.
Don King says they can't stop you from making a living. Hell, in my opinion, getting your ass beat up by Stone Cold ain't much of a living. To make it official, Mike, February 15th, I'll be in Houston, Texas. All you got to do is show up, son. And I dare you to show up, because I'm telling you, I'm telling the world, if you do show up, I will knock your ass out. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
All right, so there you have it. You have Austin. He comes out, and he's pissed off. And he's even kind of like humbled here. He's like, last week really pissed me off. You know, Tyson pushed me in front of the whole world. He's like, oh, you know, I was really pissed. So he tells him, you know, he didn't think Mike Tyson thought he wasn't going to get away with any payback. Well, So I love that line. He goes on to use that very often. This is the first time he uses it in the ring is right here. He had used it once before. We talked about it on last week's episode on January 5th. Prior to walking into the building, he said that he's going after everybody before they do on to him. That whole thing. He said,
when he was hunting for before the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So he said, and that little segment. And it kind of went unnoticed, but he used it very prominently here, as he will continue to.
Nice factoid right there.
Yep. So there you have that. He's going to whip his ass. I'll give you my number. I'll give you my pager. I'll give you my address. Let me know what you want to do. I'll whip your ass in any backyard. And then the great line, underrated line, I hadn't remembered this, and this was great. He goes, I'll knock your gold tooth out and make it a necklace for Stone Cold.
That is the best line from this response here.
So then he's calling out Don King. He's saying, yeah, you say that they can't stop him from making a living. Well, getting your ass beat by Stone Cold ain't much of a living. And then he tells Tyson, as you heard it there right at the end, that February 15th I'll be in Houston. If you show up, I'll kick your ass. Which was nice because they're setting up that, all right, Mike Tyson might be at the next pay-per-view. Spoiler, doesn't happen, unfortunately.
Give us your $40.
Yeah. So I guess, they probably had certain dates for Mike Tyson.
Yeah, of course.
Planned out, and they can just tease it, Nothing wrong with that. And he's probably like, I'm not going to fucking Houston. But, if Shawn Michaels wasn't injured, and we'll get to that in a little bit, maybe they would have had something going on with all of them. HBK getting himself hurt doesn't help that pay-per-view out. We'll get to that.
Was he really hurt, or was it one of those things where they said he was hurt because he was like being a problem backstage again?
I think it was really hurt. At least that's
Legit?
what was reported. Maybe it's still a lie. Yeah. Well, based on what the Observer said, it was an injury. I guess we'll go with that, because I don't know any different.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so this brings us now to some side notes. So not a whole lot with Austin there other than, calling out Don King and Tyson. But we had some shit going on in the rest of the card. So one thing I noticed during a Nation segment is that The Rock doesn't do the Nation salute. He's just standing behind the group and doesn't do it. So just more.
I noticed that too. He's just wearing his belt and he's in the back pacing.
Yep. So kind of just more build up to that eventual breakup of the Nation. I didn't, when I was looking, I don't know, sometimes the camera angle made the place look like a normal arena, and then other times it looked like it was a high school gym.
No, yeah, I noticed that too.
The lower level, like right on the hard camera, it looks like they're in a high school gym.
I bet you that was this. They've probably added seats there since.
Yeah,
but it looks small.
Yep,
definitely.
I was like, wow, this place looks freaking rinky-dink. You have Goldust and Luna. They're going to come out dressed as Vader. Both of them dressed as Vader. And Kane's going to interrupt and tombstone Vader, so that's during a Vader match. And that's going to set up the match that they're going to have, Kane versus Vader at No Way Out pay-per-view. You had a pretty cool segment, I thought, with Terry Funk and Mick Foley. They're just talking in the ring before the show. Like, talking about what they're going to do in their match.
Yep.
But they're talking as if they're not Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack. They're, like, talking about Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie.
Yeah.
As if they're not them.
It's their characters.
Right.
Well, it is their characters, but, I know what you mean.
Yeah. They're like, oh. It'll be like Mankind, Mick Foley saying, oh, yeah, Cactus Jack. I wonder what he's going to do tonight. It's pretty cool, pretty fun. So they're gonna have a tag team title match later in the night, and the match was pretty damn good.
Yeah, it was. I watched it. It was a damn good match. It was good.
You have Chainsaw Charlie doing a moonsault onto Road Dogg with a steel chair. So he has a steel chair and he does moonsault onto him, and
he kind of lands hard.
Yeah,
like you could see I think it's his right forearm, shoulder. He hits it. He doesn't land it clean.
No.
He kind of lands on all his weight on his side, and then you can kind of see him rolling over oof.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he felt that one.
Yeah, that was definitely a good brawl to check out, so I would recommend going back to watch that from that episode of Raw. Again, that's Raw 244 from January 26, 1998. Anything else stand out to you?
No. Basically, the only two notes I had was that, because you pretty much had covered it all, was that the awesome New Age Outlaws versus Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack match, and then the Vader Dust versus Vader, which is hilarious.
Yeah. Actually, I did have one other thing that stood up, and this is more to do with Goldust. So Goldust already had that Vader Dust earlier. He's going to come out as Hunter Dust.
Yep, he does double duty.
Yep. So it's supposed to be Owen Hart versus Triple H for the European title. So Triple H sends out Goldust because Triple H is really not even cleared to wrestle yet at this point. So Goldust is going to dress up as Hunter Dust. He has this huge like witch nose on, like straight from a witch costume. Put that on his nose there. He had Luna dressed as China. And she looked pretty good as China.
Yeah, she did. She really did. Her mannerisms, she didn't move her face. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that was damn good acting by Luna Vachon.
So Owen beats Goldust, Hunter Dust, by a sharpshooter. And then DX goes on to the Titantron, and they're like, you're an idiot, Owen Hart. And Sergeant Slaughter's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get the last laugh. And comes out, and he says, well, this was
Maggot. I hate when he says that.
Maggot.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a European title match, and Owen won the title. So the joke's on you, DX. So this title sucks. It's just
big time. It
gets passed on like all these shitty ass ways. It's like nothing legit. This is like the hardcore title before the hardcore title. Fucking European title sucks. So you had British Bulldog win it in that tournament against Owen Hart. That was a good match.
Yep.
But it was on a shitty episode of Raw where you could barely see anything. It was like camcorder. That's what it seemed like. And then you have HBK ends up winning it, but then he basically just gives it up to Triple H. Now Triple H is not even going to lose it. Goldust is going to lose it for him. Now Owen Hart's the European champ. Let's see where it goes from there. Shitty ass title. All right. So the Tyson Austin recaps, they played those like every half hour, it seemed like, throughout this episode.
Yeah, they're definitely pushing it.
Yeah.
So anyone that was even switching over for a second, they wanted to try and get as many eyes on it as possible. So
right. And especially like new people possibly checking it out just to see if there's anything about Tyson and Austin on. They could maybe get their attention too.
Yeah, so if they were tied up at Nitro, you know, you switch back, you kind of want to... That was the thing, who would keep you glued to the TV longer?
Yeah. So, they did mention, though, in one of the recaps that Tyson was supposed to be a guest referee at WrestleMania, but what will happen now? All we know is that Austin wants Tyson. Tyson wants Austin. I didn't recall or hearing anything at all about him being a guest referee yet. Prior to this.
No.
Nothing was announced. They didn't get to...
Mm-mm.
They never even got to announcing anything about his role. But they were probably supposed to say it at one point, but then just missed it. And they didn't want to change all the video packages that they created.
Yeah.
Saying that he was a guest referee. So yeah, that's one little thing that stood out there. Alright, so let's move on now to the next Raw. This is Raw 245. February 2nd, 1998, from Indianapolis, Indiana. And we're going to get a DX promo, DX Austin promo to start the show. And you can have DX coming out with like an Uncle Sam type clothing. They're
quite the spectacle.
Yeah, they're holding picket signs. It's supposed to be like a political convention. Balloons are dropping everywhere. And DX is chanting, you know, let them fight, let them fight. And they have signs, like I said, and it's like Uncle Sam wants Tyson Austin, Tyson versus Stone Cold. So, you know, basically DX is just trying to hype up that match, you know, Austin versus Tyson, because Shawn Michaels doesn't want to defend his title at WrestleMania. It's like, yeah, let's have that match instead. Let's do that match. I don't want to defend my title. Let them fight. So it is pretty cool how they're starting to work that in now. As a way to be like, Shawn Michaels just trying to be swarmy and try to get out of his match by saying, yeah, the whole country wants that match. So, yeah, let's give it to him. But Stone Cold wants his damn title shot. So he's not going to be happy with this little political convention going on. So he's going to hit the ring. And let's go to the promo now. So take a listen, about 5 minutes long, and then we'll talk about the rest of that when we get back.
Uncle Sam wants Tyson Austin. That'd be a placard that Shawn Michaels is carrying.
Mike Tyson and Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Rattlesnake and the Pitbull. Two men who stand for principle.
Two men who represent different beliefs.
Two men who want each other.
So, what do we say?
Let them fight.
What do the people say?
Let them fight.
The Nevada State Athletic Commission, Don King, Vince McMahon, the American Red Cross, for God's sakes, what do they say?
Let them fight.
Because this is America, and only in America
does justice prevail.
So again I say, let them fight! 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 Let them fight!
Uh-oh, here it comes! Who said fight? Who said fight? What an ovation for the man that wants to be the next WWF champion. Was Shawn Michaels trying to promote a fight or get out of one at WrestleMania? I think a third party's been heard for on the convention floor here in the Merkin Square Arena. I don't think Stone Cold's party has anything to do with democracy. More like anarchy.
I appreciate the fact that you support the fight Austin versus Tyson. I appreciate the fact that you're out here to promote that, because Stone Cold Steve Austin can damn well beat the living crap out of Mike Tyson. But the fact of the matter is, when Stone Cold won the Royal Rumble, that means whether I fight Mike Tyson today, tomorrow, or whenever, Sean, it means your ass belongs to Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'll tell you this, whether it happens at WrestleMania, whether it happens today or whenever, that damn belt is coming with Stone Cold, whether you like it or not. I really don't give a damn. Stone Cold Steve Austin can beat anybody's ass in the world, and that's the bottom line, because I said so.
Man, you can feel the intensity here. This is intense. This is all business. Nobody's making jokes. This is personal. Austin wants Michaels. Austin wants Tyson. But does Michaels want Austin? Does the WWF champion want to rescind his duty of having to defend his title against the Rattlesnake? It could happen here tonight. What's a major league jaw jacket? The night is not over, that's for sure. Michaels with a WWF belt, the WWF Championship. And that's what Stone Cold thinks of D-Generation X. This one is going to get real personal. What is...
All right, so Stone Cold made his way out to this political convention, this rally for Austin versus Tyson. And Stone Cold's going to come out here wearing a new shirt, another new shirt. I'm trying to keep up with the shirts as they come out on this show. Just bring up every shirt that he gets. And I'll try to just go back and collect them all. Get them from all these, old wrestling fans that have these sweaty, beat-up T-shirts. I'll collect them. So this fourth shirt Stone Cold has just says Stone Cold on the front, but then it has his eyes between the word Stone and between Cold. So you have his Stone Cold eyes looking at you. And then the back is probably the coolest part. It says 100% pure whoop ass on it. So that's his fourth shirt. So what we had so far, we got Austin 316 was the first
Austin
shirt.
316, yep.
The second shirt was the Terminator, Stone Cold.
Yep.
And then the third one was like a variant of that same shirt, where on the front it said "Other Side Jackass," and then the back, then the back had the Terminator, Stone Cold, and now this fourth one, just Stone Cold with the eyes, 100% pure whoop ass. 4 shirts already here, and I keep pumping them out. The shittiest one that I can just like think off the top of my head is the Stone Cold University shirt.
I'd have to see it to remember it, but it sounds terrible.
SCU, Stone Cold University. Like, what the fuck's the university? Like,
that's bad.
I'm not sure when that one comes in, but
yeah, reaching.
Yeah. I don't know if that was like a cool thing back then to have university for things. I don't remember. But when we get to it, I'll make fun of it some more. All right, so you have in the ring there, you got Austin, HBK standing face to face. You know, Austin's like, I appreciate the fact you support Austin versus Tyson. You know, I will kick his ass, but the fact is I won the Royal Rumble, and that means your ass belongs to me. So Austin wants his title shot. And then you have, I just thought this was hilarious too, is HBK just rips his shirt off. Like he's intimidating Austin.
Yeah, he gets like chest to chest with him.
Yeah, he rips his shirt off. Then Austin just like gives him a funny look, like,
yeah, like please, bro, please.
I feel like HBK may have been high during this.
Yeah, he's like, always looking a little.
Yeah, he might have been fucked up.
Yeah, there's this one. He's kind of mute.
Right, he doesn't say anything really.
Yeah,
he's just like fucked up. So Austin continues, whether it's WrestleMania tonight. That belt is coming with Stone Cold, whether you like it or not. Then Stone Cold rips his shirt off. And you can tell he's saying, like, yeah, I can rip my shirt off, too. And Shawn Michaels just standing there, just stone-faced with, like, a smug look on his face. I think it just reminded me of the kid with the Make America Great Again hat at the rally. It was in D.C. with the Native Americans getting in the kid's face.
I didn't see that video. I heard about it, but I didn't watch the video.
Yeah, so the kid is at a rally, and the Native Americans are, getting in their face because they're all wearing Donald Trump hats, the MAGA hats, and the kid's not saying anything. He doesn't want to say anything, and he comes off looking like a smug dickhead. That's what the whole thing behind it was. That's what caused the big uproar. Oh, look at these racist
but that wasn't the truth. They only showed like half of the video,
right?
Because that's what I thought it was. But now it sounds like the kid actually handled himself well.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
yeah, that's pretty much.
Sounds you only hear half the story. Because I read what I read. I didn't watch it. Like I said, I just read the headline, saw it. I was like, oh well, that sucks.
Yeah, the kids were being kind of targeted by the protesters, the Native American protesters, and other adult groups too.
Yep. Oh, that's horseshit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yep. So, he finally said after a couple of days, like, he was just trying to be respectful, not say anything, and, what's he going to say? He knew he was on camera, too, so...
That shit didn't show up anywhere for me in social media, damn it. See?
Yeah, I kept reading about it as the story progressed.
And the truth comes out. It seems like the media, like the mainstream media, didn't really cover it too well.
Well, that's the thing. You get the story, when you don't know the half of it, you put it out there, and then when you learn that it's not as sensational as you thought, you just let the story die. And you don't explain to the people either, like, oh no, this has happened.
Yeah, they don't correct themselves.
Right, they don't want to correct themselves. They want you to just think that's what happened, and you forget about it.
These idiots ain't gonna go fact check anything we say, and they fucking can nowadays. Fucking morons! They're gonna go look at something stupid. They're gonna go watch a YouTube video. Or the kid groaning in the gym or something, you know? I don't know.
Well, basically, they just give you a little taste of some news, and then they let it fester on Twitter and on other social media platforms for people to just yell and bitch about. And it's like, ha, look what we did to these people.
Yeah, it's like that game of telephone.
We got them
the story
all,
always changes.
Yeah. We got them all worked up for no reason. They're mad at these white kids now.
Yeah.
It's like
Look, everyone that wears that hat's a douchebag.
Yeah, it's freaking 16-year-old kid.
Yeah, like, poor kid. Damn. See, I always took it, not to drag this on any further, but I always took it as, when I read it, I'm like, oh, these kids are assholes.
Yeah.
Like, why the hell they...
That's what I thought at first, too.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them probably are, but...
Of course.
You know? Hey.
Tell the whole story.
Right.
But, yeah.
Yeah, let's move on. All right, so HBK is being a dickhead in the ring. That's my estimation of it. He was being a dickhead, and he was high on drugs.
Now let that circle around social media. Everyone will spin it up. Everyone will come like, oh, no, he was actually on Dayquil and NyQuil because he was battling a cold. So,
and he was in
like,
pain
from
the Rumble match when he landed on the casket.
Yeah.
His back. Yeah. Which is the reason why he's not going to be at No Way Out. It's because the way he fell on the casket when he got slammed on it. That looked like a fucking hurt big time.
Yeah.
All right, so we move on now, and Stone Cold's going to have a match. It's going to be Stone Cold versus the Road Dogg, Jesse James. And they even mentioned, like, oh, this is a rare occasion for an Austin match on Raw. But they just want to get him out there. Austin's going to come out. And this match starts at the 1 hour 26 mark, so this is like right at the end of the show. It's basically only like 5 minutes left in the show when this match starts. So you have Austin comes out. He's going to clothesline Billy Gunn right away. He's going to go after Road Dogg, and they do some brawling outside the ring. Austin's going to roll Road Dogg back in the ring, gets him in the corner, starts stomping him. Then Billy Gunn runs in right away and gets stunned, and then the ref calls for a DQ. Like, Billy Gunn didn't even put his hands on Stone Cold. He just ran into the ring, got stunned, so the ref called the match. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't want this match to happen, you should have just not had it. Could have just had Austin run out and do the stunner to them. Something, I don't know. But they wanted to set up a situation where Stone Cold's going to be vulnerable, and he's going to be able to get teamed up on. So DX makes their way out now, and you get a 4-on-1 beatdown of Austin. And then Austin even gets tied up in the ropes. This is a memorable moment, too.
Yes, it is. Yeah, yep.
This image.
It's iconic. This image is, like, tattooed to my brain.
You have Austin just being tied up in the rope. Shawn Michaels is grabbing him by the face. He has his hand just right on his chin. And he puts the world title on his face. He says, this is as close as you're ever going to get, Austin. This is as close as you'll ever get to it. And he's just rubbing the belt in his face. And this Austin looks so vulnerable. But then you have his boy, Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, save the day. Now, what we have to mention before we go further into this is that earlier in the night, there was an awesome Chainsaw Charlie versus Cactus Jack match, which they were talking about a little bit earlier on the show. There was a little preview of it. So they were building up this match throughout the early part of the show. And Chainsaw Charlie comes out with a trash can with some shit in it. But then Cactus Jack, you can hear him. He says, you call that a trash can? This is a trash can. He comes out with the fucking BFI dumpster.
BFI, yeah, the blue one.
Yeah, the blue one. Just like the ones that used to be in that same playground, that same...
Yep.
At our elementary school, right in the corner there.
Where your hack got thrown over the fence.
Yeah. And they did mention that there's going to be an 8-man tag match for No Way Out, which is just like out of nowhere because it wasn't talked about ever before. And it's like, oh, there's going to be a match. It's going to be Austin, Owen Hart, Chainsaw Charlie, Cactus Jack against New Age Outlaws and DX. Like, okay, when the hell did that come about? They just say it's going to happen out of nowhere. So anyways, yeah. So anyways, Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack have that good match going on. Cactus Jack's going to elbow drop Chainsaw Charlie in the dumpster from the top of the, not from the top of the Titantron, but the lower level of the Titantron. He's going to climb up there and then give an elbow drop into the dumpster. Then as he's in the dumpster, the New Age Outlaws come out and close the top of the lid, zip tie it, and then pushes them off the ramp, which is crazy. And another memorable moment. So this Raw is chock full of some memorable moments. So this episode, basically, this is like the coming out party for the New Age Outlaws, too. Like,
it is. They're
throughout this entire episode.
They grow. They really grow from this episode.
Yep. From the beginning of this episode to the end of this episode, they're like a totally different team.
Yep.
They focus like the whole episode on them. So that had happened, and it was a big to-do. It went on for, I don't know, like 20 minutes, like legit 20 minutes of them being injured and everyone out there concerned. McMahon comes out there to make it seem like it's legit. Jim Ross is using like insider terms, like, this they're not just trying to get over. This is what we call it in the business, trying to get over.
Yeah. And people say that they know how to fall. This
bullshit.
And that.
Yeah. Even Michael Cole brings up, well, there might be some wrestlers' court, which is this, kind of like in-house justice system that they have, where they handle their own business, the wrestlers. So they have this wrestle court. So that's even mentioned. You got fucking Sonny out there, overacting, big time, crying, worried about Terry Funk and Mick Foley.
Yeah, like back to points you make, like what? Like she's just lost.
Yeah, like what are you doing? She's probably high too.
Everyone's high.
But the one thing that helps New Age Outlaws grow, as you were saying, is that DX comes out and says, you need to step it up. You need to top yourselves week after week. You need to push it further. You need to get the ratings. So this kind of puts New Age Outlaws at the level of DX, in that they're always going to try to top themselves week after week with trying to do something outrageous or dangerous. So that brings us now back to where we were, and I wanted to point that out because they're injured and they're in the hospital throughout the episode, and Michael Cole's at the hospital. He's calling in, giving reports every 10 minutes or so about how Cactus and Terry Funk are doing. So that brings us now to this main event match where Stone Cold is all tied up and getting beat down by DX and embarrassed. You have Cactus Jack comes strolling out with his IV still attached.
Gold.
And then you have Terry Funk coming out in the hospital, Johnny, and his chainsaw. It's just hilarious. He's coming out. The only thing that would have been better is if his ass was just hanging out, too.
Yeah, that's his hairy. Probably all hairy and shit.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. They come out, they clear the ring. Austin gives DX a chase backstage once he gets freed from the ropes. He comes back out with a DX shirt. It was a shirt that Hunter was wearing, the red one, the red shitty DX shirt. He takes that, he rips it in the center of the ring, and then that pretty much concludes the show there. There's also extra attitude segment that goes off the air, and they just continue to show Austin getting the crowd hyped. It was like a little extra thing for the WWE Network. So that concludes that.
Just a great episode of Raw, though.
Yeah.
It's a really good episode.
Right. I mean, the side notes, just got into a little bit of that coverage with Chainsaw Charlie versus Cactus Jack and getting thrown in the dumpster and tossed off the ramp. You had that. But even to open the show, you had the DX State of the Union talking about their language.
Yep.
And I thought that was pretty cool. And Shawn Michaels' line at the end there said, I did not sleep with that young intern. As a matter of fact, I was up all night. So that was another memorable moment. This episode, this is one of the classic episodes of the Attitude Era.
Yeah, it is. There's so many moments.
February 2nd, 1998, Raw 245. So,
yeah, Groundhog Day.
Yeah. Yeah, we're supposed to get early spring this year, according to Punxsutawney Phil.
Felt like spring today.
Yeah, it's going to feel like spring tomorrow, too. It's going to be about 58 degrees and clear here in Massachusetts. Then next week it'll be back down to 10 degrees.
Fuck, I should call out sick tomorrow.
And I'll get sick again.
Yeah, everyone's going to get sick again.
And tomorrow's the Patriots parade, too, so a lot of people are going to be enjoying that with the nice weather.
Yep.
In New England.
I think the last time we won, it was a blizzard 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was. Yep. There's often been blizzards after the Super Bowl. It's like three of the past 4 years I've gotten the day off after the Super Bowl. It's like, time to get drunk. Especially when they announce it during the day ahead of time. It's like, all right, cool.
I was dragging through work today, I tell you.
Oh, so was I. Gave a quiz today. Had that planned out perfectly.
I would have been like, movie day. We're going to watch 30 for 30 on Bill Belichick.
That's a good idea. I'm going to give you a little history lesson of the Patriots Super Bowls. All right. So there is another segment with the New Age Outlaws later in that same episode. And that's Billy Gunn versus Owen Hart. And they're going to try to top themselves. So they got so much heat on them. They come out, they're getting booed like crazy. It's awesome how that worked out. Usually, you would think people would be like, "Oh, that's cool. They're badasses." No, people were legit pissed off that they fucked with Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie.
People were emotionally invested in those two. It's hard. Like as you're watching these Raws, it's impossible not to like those guys,
right?
Because you respect like the beatings that they're giving each other, the beatings they're taking, how hard they're working. Like you appreciate those guys a little more because they're not your stereotypical wrestler. You know what I mean?
Right.
From an appearance standpoint, how they do things, etc. So you kind of sympathize for them.
Yep.
So it was perfect booking.
So yeah, they had that heat coming out at the beginning of this Billy Gunn and Owen Hart match. It's a European title match. It's gonna end in it ends in DQ. So Road Dogg comes in and interferes. DX then joins in. They start attacking Owen Hart, and they start to beat the shit out of Owen Hart on the ramp. Triple H gives a pretty stiff DDT, it looked like, on the ramp. So you got Owen kind of knocked out in this situation. Then the New Age Outlaws, they're starting to swing Owen Hart back and forth like they're going to throw him off the ramp. So they're trying to push it to the next level there. But they end up getting stopped and they don't do it. But as I was saying before, this is like the coming out party for the New Age Outlaws. And the show is just built around them for the entire episode. All right, so that kind of concludes the whole theme of the New Age Outlaws and DX and what they were going through that night. But additional side notes I do have, and I don't want to leave out, is that Sable's tits were bouncing like a motherfucker.
I had to go back and look because I saw it in your notes, and you weren't shitting.
They're just moving all around. So and I even took timestamp for that, so I can tell you guys. That's at 53 minutes and 33 seconds. You want to see some bouncing? There you go. And I was amazed because I always just remember them just being stiff, fake titties. But these ones were actually like moving all around. I think maybe she had just got them redone or something. I don't know.
It's like they have their own personality.
Got me excited.
Yeah. I was pumped to go back and watch it because I saw it in the notes. I was like, oh shit, he wasn't kidding. These things are like life of their own.
Yeah, so if you like boobs, check those out.
Yeah.
At 53:33.
Yeah.
So I guess our new storyline is that she's starting to get mysterious gifts from somebody. Yeah. I don't remember, and I'm not beyond this point anymore because things have slowed down with my time of being able to watch wrestling and get ahead of myself. So I'm kind of just where we're at now. And
need some snow days.
Yeah, need some time to catch up and write out the notes for the next few episodes. But anyway, she's getting mysterious gifts. I don't remember who it's from. My only assumption would be maybe it's from Butterbean, if they're going to still build up to Butterbean versus Mero, maybe at WrestleMania or something. Well, I don't remember for sure. I haven't looked into it. But anyway, she's getting those gifts. You have Marilyn Dust. So you got Goldust dressed as Marilyn Manson. And he even has new Marilyn Manson music to come out too.
Yeah.
And this is not like a one-shot deal for Goldust. He's going to be this Marilyn Dust for for a little bit anyway. He's going to be here, and then even at No Way Out, the pay-per-view, he's Marilyn Dust still.
Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, the beautiful people, the beautiful people. Even Mark Merrill says it when he announces Goldust. It's either here or it's at the pay-per-view. But Mark Merrill's like, the beautiful people, the beautiful people. It's like, he knows that song? Johnny B. Bad. Little Richard.
Knows all genres.
Yeah. So Mark Merrill, he's going to dismiss Sable, which is crazy based on all the bouncing going on there. He calls her worthless.
Yeah, like, dude.
I think he calls her worthless, and then, like, Jerry Lawler, JR's like, what? You kidding me?
Dude, smarten up.
And then you get a Tiger. You get Tiger Ali Singh, a vignette, new man.
Yeah, this shit's funny. It's funny. He's like in like an office, got his feet kicked up, and he's running stairs. Who's the guy in the video with him?
I don't know.
His dad?
Maybe. Yeah, Tiger
to go over his whole heritage,
Tiger
lineage.
Tiger Jeet Singh. I think that's his father's name.
That was his dad.
And then we also get some the endless Nation of Domination DOA feud going on here. And they announced that there's going to be a war of attrition match in Your House No Way Out. But the one thing that stood out to me was when Farouk claims, I run things around here. I run things like he's in charge. And it always reminds me of this quote I learned in history. It's from Margaret Thatcher. It's being powerful is like being a lady. If you have to tell people you are, you aren't.
It's true.
So I always thought that too. Like when I'm in class, I'm a teacher. If like you ever lose control of the class or whatever, which can happen every once in a while. You just gotta gain control of it. But what I always remember not to say is, I'm in charge. Or anything stupid like that. I'm the teacher. I'm in charge. Because it's basically that. If you have to say you're in charge, then you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's something that is just the way it is. People know you're in charge. You don't have to tell them that. So it's like Margaret Thatcher says, if you're a lady, you don't have to tell people you are. They'll know it. But that quote's a little old. Maybe in 2019 you do have to tell people what you are.
Yeah.
It's not so obvious these days.
Yeah, you gotta tell them.
So basically what I conclude from that is, if Farouk saying that, I run things around here, then he does not run things around there. So Farouk is not in power. And then you have, one thing that was strange to me is, Wink Collins. Like, who the fuck is Wink Collins? So Wink Collins is in the ring, and Kane comes down. Kane choke slams Wink Collins. So I was like, who the fuck's Wink Collins? Well, apparently he's a longtime WWF employee. He's been working for them for years at this point. And he was also the host of the Billionaire Ted Game segments back on Raw from early 1996. So some of those early Raws that we watched when we first started this show.
He was the game show host?
He was the game show host, yeah.
Ah.
On the March 4th, 1996 episode of Raw. You can see Wink Collins host Billionaire Ted Game. It's also on YouTube. So you can just search Billionaire Ted Game Show Raw on YouTube. It's pretty funny. All right, so now this brings us to the Go Home episode of Raw, which is Raw 246, February 9th, 1998, from Evansville, Indiana. So you get a strange cold opening, and when I was watching this episode, my wife was also on the couch with me, and it starts off with Sonny dressed as Marilyn Monroe singing Happy Birthday.
Yeah, this is creepy.
Yeah, like how Marilyn Monroe sang it to JFK. The Happy Birthday, yeah. But she's singing it to Freddie Blassie. So this was just weird. And my wife's like looking at it like, what the fuck is this? Is wrestling? And I was thinking the same thing. This is wrestling? Oh, come on.
When it's tough to defend.
And then I just thought to myself again, what the fuck is her job? It's just like just finding random shit for her to do. Sing fucking Happy Birthday to Freddie Blassie? the open episode of Raw, when Raw's been so great over the past couple of weeks. You know, people might be excited to want to check out Raw because they're hearing about Mike Tyson or what's going on with the New Age Outlaws and DX, and then they're gonna put it on at the top of the hour, and they got a girl singing "Happy Birthday" to an old fuck, Freddie Blassie. All right, I want to keep watching this. Click the TNT. Check out what's going on Nitro.
Yeah, exactly. Back when there was that luxury.
Yeah. Now there's nowhere to go.
Nope.
Now you have to go on the network, so they get your money anyway. Which is, hey, yeah. You don't want to watch what we got? Well, give us $10. You can watch whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. Go watch replays.
Yeah, watch the old shit then. Shut up. All right, so they save themselves soon after that shitty cold open, where you have Stone Cold coming out to pretty much open up the show after that. So Austin's going to come out. He's going to come out with like a pillowcase, it looks like. And he's going to talk about how he's pissed off about last week. How he got the belt rubbed in his face. You know, he's pissed that he would rub that belt in his face. He says, that's not something you do. Yeah, no way out, I want a piece of your ass. They even says, this is another one of those ass things. Bring your long-haired ass to this ring. Bring out your long-haired ass. And I get what he's saying. You know, your long hair. But your long-haired ass. So, I'll let you guys listen to that. Okay, that's a nice little 4-minute segment. So, take a listen to what Austin's got. He's got a brand new bag. What's in that bag? Well, take a look. Take a listen.
Damn right. I want to make one thing clear to Shawn Michaels. You don't come out on national television and rub a damn belt in Stone Cold's face. That's just something you just don't do. This Sunday, in your house, no way out. You're damn right. There's no way out of that pay-per-view because I want a piece of your ass. But I'll tell you right now, I don't really want to wait that long. So what I'm telling Shawn Michaels, get yourself some guts and bring your long-haired ass to this ring.
Uh-oh. We've got some company. Look who's joined us.
Poor little Stone Cold. What happened? Were you a little bit tied up last week? I couldn't help but to notice you were all revved up with nowhere to go. I got news for you, Iceman. The Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels knows exactly how to pull your strings, son. He's the baddest SOB in the World Wrestling Federation, and what happened? I punked him out last week like a DOG dog. You know something, Austin? In case you haven't noticed, you don't call the shots around here. I do. Now, if you want a piece of me, hey, you're gonna get a piece. But only when I say so. But Stone Cold, being the gracious World Wrestling Federation champion, being the icon, the showstopper, the main eventer that I am, if you can give me one, just one good reason why I ought to come out there, I'll be more than happy to come out there and slap the taste right out of your mouth once again. Well, you want a good reason? I know you ain't gonna come out here just for the hell of it, because I beat your damn ass. So the reason I'll give you, Sean, I got your belt, son. Come out here and get it. You ain't got... My belt, son, is right here. You're talking about the World Wrestling Federation Championship belt, the one that I wear so proudly. What is this? Where's my belt? Hey, jackass. Where's my belt? Wait. What the hell? That is what you think! Austin, you're a dead man! Nobody takes what is mine! That's it. Hey, settle down. Listen to what I'm telling you. I'll be out here all night. If you want your belt back, you bring your ass out here to the ring. I'll give it back to you, but you're gonna have to ask me real nice, and that's the bottom line. Why? Oh, hell yeah!
All right, so they had Stone Cold. He came out, like I said earlier before I played the clip, said he had the bag, and he's pissed off that he got the belt rubbed in his face, that HBK rubbed the belt all over his face, and he calls out HBK. Well, DX appears on the Titantron there, and HBK says he got news for him, Iceman, which was funny because it made me think of all the original Stone Cold names. Wasn't Iceman one of them?
I think it was, yeah.
So maybe Michaels knew that, and he's making a little dig.
Yeah, throwing a jab at him.
You're right, Iceman. All right, Frosty McFrings, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Mr. Freeze. So he calls the shots out there. He says he punked out Austin.
He's got his nice vest on for this, too.
Yeah. Yep.
The badass one.
Yeah.
With, like, the metal, embroidered on it.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like he's ready to go. So Michaels points out that he punked him, and Austin's the look on Austin's face when HBK says he punked him last week is great. It's like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, dude, you got jumped.
Yeah. Yeah, so Austin was tied up in the ropes last week. So yeah. He did look
vulnerable.
He did look punked, especially when the belt was in his face too.
Yeah. They treated him like shit.
Yeah. So, Michaels is, getting pretty cocky there. He thinks he got the best of Austin. But Austin has a trick up his sleeves. In his bag, actually. In his pillowcase, or whatever the fuck he has. So he says, I got your belt, son. Come out and get it. HBK's like, yeah, right, bullshit, you don't have it. So he takes out his little bag, which us former Hurricane Rana wrestling champions know is called the Damien bag. It's the bag that you keep your championship belt in. Nice. What material is that, would you say? Like velvet or something?
Bag?
Yeah.
Yeah, like velvet.
Or velour or something like that.
Velour. Yeah, I'm not good with fabrics, but it's nice.
Yeah.
It's like a soft...
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say like you said, like almost velvet.
Yeah.
It's probably some kind of synthetic.
So HBK has that same kind of bag that he brings his championship belt from place to place with. So he picks up his bag, his Damien bag, and he pulls out the toy version of the WWF Championship. And it's funny because, wouldn't he know the weight of the bag?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I'm like, because, being that we have a real belt,
yep.
That shit's pretty heavy. Like, when you carry that bag, you feel it. It's not heavy, but there's weight to it.
Right.
It's not like you don't realize you were walking around. Like, right when you picked up the bag to take the belt out, you didn't find something fishy.
Yeah,
come on.
Right, you couldn't tell that there was foam and plastic in there, not leather and gold.
Yeah. Idiot.
So he takes out this shitty toy version of the WWF Championship, which I fucking hate. Especially from that time or any before that, they were selling the World Championship belt, which looked nothing like the Winged Eagle belt. It was just like some generic shitty World Championship belt. It looked more like Hogan's Championship belt from 1987 before they went to the Winged Eagle. That's kind of like what this belt looks like. But it's 1997 that they're selling this belt in. Those toy belts just all kind of suck. The only good one, I think.
They always suck. I don't really ever care for the toy belts because they're so trashy looking.
Yeah. I mean, the only one that actually looked decent was the tag team belts.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're all foam, so shitty for that. But if you're an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old, it's pretty cool. The Intercontinental title was pretty good because it had the same plate. It looked like the Intercontinental title. But then the strap, the foam, was brown. Like, what the fuck is a brown belt?
Yeah, brown.
It was like a light brown, too. It was ugly. And I had that one. That's when I used to use that when I was going to wrestle my cousins. And we had our little wrestling league. And I was the Rocket.
Oh, that was your prop.
I was the Rocket. And I was the champ. So anyway, he takes that belt out of his bag and he's like, "Oh no, what the hell happened to my belt?" So Austin has it. And Shawn Michaels just pissed off there. So Austin tells him basically, "Hey, you want it. Get your ass down here. And you need to make sure you ask real nicely." And that's the bottom line. So that sets up a pretty good situation later in the night. So I like that when they start off something at the top of the show and they let it fester throughout the night and they come back to it.
Yeah, then it comes back full circle. That's
right. That's good writing.
It's good television. Yeah. So I like that with any show I watch, whether it's Breaking Bad or Walking Dead, anything on TV. As much as, that's why it's sports entertainment. As much as we love wrestling and the actual ability, you got to have a story.
Yeah.
Even even like the NFL, NBA, they do it. They build stories.
Yep. Yeah, the Super Bowl, that was 2-week story building right there.
Yep.
Just don't know how the outcome's going to be. All right, so let's move on here. I do have an audio clip for you guys. It's a little lengthy, but I think it's a good one for you to hear. It's the WrestleMania 14 press conference coverage. So it's kind of like different clips from throughout that press conference of Tyson, Stone Cold, HBK. And we're not going to really break it down. Just going to play it out for you.
But it is awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool package and definitely
so much emotion.
Yeah, and has some the classic face-off between HBK and Stone Cold. So it's just pretty cool shit there. So take a listen to that, and then we'll continue the rest of this episode of Raw when we get back from this press conference.
It should be an extravaganza beyond extravaganzas. WrestleMania 14.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jim Ross, and I want to welcome you to the WrestleMania 14 press conference.
Television crews, radio stations, and newspapers worldwide awaited the announcement of the main event at WrestleMania 14, as well as what role the baddest man on the planet, Mike Tyson, would play at the biggest sports entertainment event of the year.
Shawn Michaels defends the World Wrestling Federation title at WrestleMania against the #1 contender, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I would like to announce that Mike Tyson, as far as his role at WrestleMania is concerned, after much deliberation, Mike Tyson will be, in effect, the enforcer. He will be on the outside of the ring in somewhat of a guest referee capacity.
If you don't know, you should know. My name is Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I've been busting my ass for 8 years to get this opportunity to wrestle for the WWF title at a WrestleMania. So, Shawn Michaels, you can bet your last dollar that I take this match more serious than any match I've ever had in my life. Professionally, I think you're one of the greatest wrestlers to ever step in the ring. Personally, I think you're a big piece of trash.
Steve Austin, in my opinion, is the Latrell Sprewell of the World Wrestling Federation, and Vince McMahon is PJ Carlissimo. I do not lay down. I repeat, I do not lay down for absolutely anybody.
Mike Tyson is the hottest thing in sports. No question about that. So Mike, involved with the World Wrestling Federation, brings the attention and the focal point to the WWF.
And I'm just interested in just getting involved with WWF. That's my life as of now.
What attracted you to the WWF?
Probably Bruno Sammartino, the Valiant brothers, because Bruno Sammartino more so because he was quiet and always strong, but I always liked the Valiants because they were very flamboyant and ostentatious, and it's a major alluring product there. And 500 million people don't lie. I'm not bigger than boxing. Boxing doesn't need me, but I can survive without boxing, just like boxing can survive without me.
Would you, if this gets out of hand, would you hit somebody without having your hands bandaged or boxing gloves on?
Are you saying that like we're supposed to be worried about it? He can swing away all he wants, pal. He can punch me all he wants. He's beat a bunch of two-time losing boxers, all right? And I know you may not have a hell of a lot of respect for what we do, but I'll try him any day of the week. It doesn't matter, hands bandaged or not. You don't just do this stuff for the jollies, pal. You do it because you're a jock.
Well, I can take care of myself very well.
You asked if I think I can beat Mike Tyson?
That's right.
Wrestler versus boxer? Hell yeah.
He's dreaming.
After I get through with Shawn Michaels, I'd love to fight Mike Tyson with a pair of gloves on because I'd beat the hell out of him.
If you're lucky, you may get the hell beat out of you tonight trying to get that belt because you're uncouth imbecile. You can't get along with people. You can't function with people. You need to be nice to people. You always want to hurt somebody, want to kill somebody. Try loving somebody.
You might as well set up Austin Tyson then. End result is going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to open up a can of whoop ass, and Shawn Michaels is going to eat it one way or another.
Can you get that glare out of your stare, chump change? I'll walk over there and knock it off. Like I can't see you, boy. And I choose to make an ass out of the toughest SOB. I can do that anytime I want. I already did chump you up. Put your little belt down. Put your little belt down. Throw something. So damn tough. You ain't nothing but fly-by-night, boy. Fly-by-night. You are fly-by-night. You're a blessing. Sean. Don't touch me. I'll sit down and just keep your hands off. Guys, Jesus.
Put your little mitts on me, hey?
And I'm a great fan of the WWF. I just never knew the guys here were so crazy.
So it has come to this. Mike Tyson coming between two of the World Wrestling Federation's finest.
Tyson attended a news conference today in New York about the upcoming appearance for the WWF.
Mike Tyson in town for a wrestling news conference.
Tyson will be the so-called enforcer in next month's epic showdown between Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mike Tyson and his new WrestleMania pals will hit the mats on March 29th on pay-per-view.
The excitement and anticipation for WrestleMania 14 is already off the page. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels, Iron Mike Tyson, the WWF, and all of our fans have just embarked on a wild and history-making 7-week journey, culminating in Boston, Massachusetts at WrestleMania 14.
All right, so pretty cool package there. We'll be definitely talking more about it as we get closer to our WrestleMania 14 coverage, but they played that clip on this episode of Raw, so I figured, hey, just play it with this episode. And we'll get more into it later because they'll be talking about this stuff and showing that clip every week, basically, from this point on. So we'll talk more about what happened at that press conference as we get closer to talking about the actual match at WrestleMania 14.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so also on this episode, you got China now. You know, China's pissed about Austin taking the belt from Shawn, so China's going to try to get some revenge. So she's going to put a hit on Austin. She's going to go to the Los Boricuas, and she's speaking Spanish. Speaking very good Spanish. It sounds really good. I guess she was fluent in Spanish. I did hear that recently.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Damn.
So she's speaking to Los Boricuas. She puts a hit on Stone Cold, but Stone Cold's going to get the better of them. Throughout the night, he's going to be on the run from them, and he's going to kind of lock them out of rooms. And China's getting so pissed off that they can't get to him. So you have some little comedy there. And also creates that connection with DX and Savio Vega that's going to play into the No Way Out pay-per-view.
And they've been using them as, like, hired guns.
Right. Well, even the Nation hired them, too.
Well, that's what it was. Someone else had hired them.
Yeah.
It was the Nation. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so this now brings us to the show closing and kind of come full circle with that Shawn Michaels and Austin segment with the belt. So you have HBK. He says he's not going to wait on anybody. He's not waiting until Sunday to get his title back. He wants his title back now.
Now.
Yeah. So he says, he's going to do Austin the favor. He's going to be polite. He says, get your ass out here. Please. Like a dickhead. So Austin does make his way out. He clears the ring. New Age Outlaws come out. Austin's trying to defend himself. And he drops the title. So he's kind of like backed up against the ropes and he drops his title. Kind of watch out for everybody. Then China sneaks around the ring, takes the belt, and runs back with the championship. Now, all this just kind of reminded me of what happened with The Rock and Austin just a couple of months ago.
Yeah, he's basically like the just like it's one of his things now. He steals belts.
Right. Well, it's because The Rock took his belt. Then he took The Rock's belt, and now he's going to take Shawn Michaels' belt.
Now he's addicted to it.
But this one, he's a habitual belt stealer.
Yeah.
But this one makes sense,
nice
too.
Nice belt you got there.
Because last week he was embarrassed because Shawn Michaels was rubbing the belt in his face.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, oh, you're going to rub your belt in my face? I'm going to fucking take your belt then.
Yeah, belt's mine now, punk.
My belt now. Debo. All right, so that pretty much concludes. I thought that was a pretty cool go-home segment leading up to...
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, it even gets better, though, too. I forgot. While Austin's in there kind of surrounded by everybody, you can start to hear a chainsaw. Then you got Chainsaw Charlie chainsaw his way through the ring, coming up from underneath like he's Freddy Krueger. Or Leatherface, I guess. And then Mankind Cactus Jack comes up from the ring, too. It's like, wow, this is like a horror movie scene. It's great.
Yeah, it's wild.
So it kind of sets the stage that, there's... And then Owen Hart, that's right. Owen Hart comes from the crowd and joins. So then you have that. What they usually do on a go-home is show the main event people or whoever's in the main event, face-to-face one last time to try to help sell the pay-per-view. So you had DX and the New Age Outlaws outside the ring, and then inside you had their opponents, Owen Hart, Cactus, Chainsaw, and Stone Cold. So, good build-up and good lead to the pay-per-view that's coming up. But before we get to that, let's just take a look at the last few side notes we have here. One was funny, I thought, was with the New Age Outlaws. They're trying to reenact the dumpster drop, but they do it with blow-up dolls.
Oh, I missed that.
You missed it? Oh, they did. They had blow-up dolls.
I'll have to go back and see that.
They had blow-up dolls dressed up as Cactus and Chainsaw, and they put them into the dumpster again and dumped them off. And it's funny. You could just, if you're listening closely, you can hear Road Dogg tell Billy Gunn, "Oh, bring that back up to the room with us." The blow-up dolls. And then you hear Jerry Lawler laugh about it. Yeah, bring that back to the room with us.
Yeah. Creepy.
Yeah. Sable's starting to get a little physical lately. She's going to slap Luna and Goldust. So she's starting to get physical in her interactions now. You have a great promo from The Rock.
Yes. Yep. That was one of my side notes.
It was funny because it was like about cloning and genetic selection.
Yep.
And then also this is the episode where The Rock cracks Shamrock silly with the chair shot, like right on his face, like face first, not like on his head.
Yeah. Violent.
Right. Nuts. And then you have Paul Bearer and Kane. They're building up to their match with Vader, so they burn a clock and it has Vader's face on it. So it's like a Vader time clock. It's Vader time.
So stupid.
Yeah, I know.
So stupid.
And then there was one other shitty thing that took up too much time, so that's why I took a note of it, because it's like, wow, this thing is taking up way too much time. It was the Jackal descending from the Raptors, like on a platform and like a podium. It was just shitty bullshit. He's playing mind games with his jobber squad that he has, Recon and Delta, or whatever the fuck their names are.
Fucking weird military Call of Duty names.
Yeah. So that pretty much concludes that. So now we're on here now to the main event, to No Way Out of Texas, as it was originally called. And it was an In Your House, but if you're looking for it on the network, it's not under In Your House. You have to go to the No Way Out pay-per-views. It's the very first one. They have one in 98, it's In Your House one, and then there's not one in 99, but then the official No Way Out series of pay-per-views starts in 2000 and goes on for a few years, and then it's off, and then it's back on. So they're up in the air about No Way Out. Probably because it's NWO. No Way Out.
Yeah. No shit. Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the first thing I thought when they first had that. I was like, No Way Out. That's NWO.
Yeah, no shit. That didn't hit me till you just brought that up again. Yeah.
All right, so before we get into the main event, I'll talk about some of the... there's not much side notes I had from the pay-per-view, because the pay-per-view pretty much sucked. But you have Sable, as I said last week, she was getting a little physical with Goldust and Luna. She actually pushes Mark Merrill to the ground. So she's starting to stick up for herself. And looking good again. And then the very next segment, you have Sunny come out in a freaking pink jumpsuit.
Yeah.
Whew, damn, and she keeps like bending, sitting down. Like, all right, yep. That's the Sunny I like.
Yeah, not the ref.
Yeah.
In mini matches.
Yeah.
Or weird Marilyn Monroe birthday singing.
Yeah.
This is weird.
We got the Nation. This is a classic promo. The Nation of Domination. You get The Rock making his faces while Farouk is talking. Yeah, it's the classic online GIF.
Yeah.
Of him rolling his eyes when Farouk's
like
talking.
arms folded, rolls his eyes, looks in the air.
And then he keeps
towards the ceiling.
If you keep watching, he's pumping his chest out.
Yeah, the whole time. Yeah. He's flexing his chest, and then he's giving the eyebrow.
Yeah, he gives the eyebrow, and then he puts his hands in front of his belt, saying, "I'm the champ. I'm the champ." I might not be the leader, but I'm the champ. I'm the champ. So awesome that they keep building it. It's basically if you're watching it, it's looking like The Rock is gonna be the babyface. Right there, it's they're gonna make Rock babyface, and Farouk's gonna be the heel. But it's almost like they go the opposite way. They want to keep the heat on Rock, so they have him turn on Farouk, and have the whole nation join in turning on Farouk. Which it's gonna be coming soon. At this point, it's been over a month of this build up, of all this tension between the nation, and it continues on in this match where you have this war of attrition match. So it's a nation versus a bunch of other fucking people. And The Rock's going to tap out the Shamrock. This leads to the argument with Farouk. And everyone in the nation's getting mad at each other. They finally settle down and calm down. And they do their salute. But you can tell things are about to fall apart for the nation. Farouk even hits D'Lo, and D'Lo's whining and crying about it. Why you hit me? What did I do?
Yeah. He gets all butthurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so then you have... that pretty much is it. Then we get to the main event. So lackluster opening matches on this pay-per-view. This last match kind of saves it. But other than watching this match, I would probably never watch No Way Out again. Maybe only to see that Rock promo. And that happens at the 1 hour and 16 minute mark. But you can find that on YouTube too.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so Austin's going to cut a very brief promo. We're not going to play it. Basically, Austin just says, it's fun to kick someone's ass anywhere in the world, but if you do it in Texas, you actually done something. And up at this point now, throughout the night, they've been saying that HBK is not cleared to perform. He's hurt his back. He has two herniated discs. So there's going to be a mystery opponent. So they've been building that up throughout the night. Who's going to be the mystery opponent? Who's going to be the mystery opponent? And Triple H basically says, nobody can replace HBK. Nobody's going to join DX. So we're not going to have a fourth partner. It's going to be a handicap match. And this is supposed to be a non-sanctioned, no DQ match. So it's not anything involved with the WWF. It's not supposed to be anyway. Okay. So with that said... then they start to go with this thing that, the WWF, if you don't get a fourth partner, they're going to choose one for you.
Yep.
Like, dude, this is non-sanctioned. Stay the fuck out of it. If they want it to be 3-on-4, then why are you involved? Why are you forcing them to have a partner? So that just doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, it contradicts everything they
Right,
said.
it contradicts the whole match.
Yep.
So, makes no sense. So they're gonna give them somebody, which I guess is a good way to because it's not gonna be anybody great. It's gonna be Savio Vega, which is fucking lame. But it's almost a way of them saying, "Oh, we know Savio Vega is not going to be appealing or make anybody excited, so let's just say the WWF forced them to have Savio Vega on their team." And it's not supposed to be any great mystery or anybody special. It's just you need a partner. Savio Vega is free. That's who your partner is. So I don't know, just kind of a shit show. It seemed like. And like you said earlier, if it's just HBK throwing another hissy fit, it's like they're just catered to him. Like, all right, fine, do whatever you want. We'll figure it out.
Like, dude, he's like running the company.
Right. Like, yeah, I'm not ready for this pay-per-view. Get somebody else out there. And you'll notice throughout the match, too, that Triple H wasn't really ready either. And you could tell throughout this match that he's not ready to go because he barely does anything. So they open up the match with a pre-match package, which is pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. Because there is good shit going on with the New Age Outlaws, with Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie, and of course Austin and Shawn Michaels.
It's been a nice build for all these guys. Like they've been putting on some good segments in the Raws leading up to it. They're kind of become like the must-see guys. This group here for WWE whenever they're on TV.
Yeah.
Obviously, outside of Savio Vega, who kind of just kind of gets thrown in, and even Owen Hart, I'd say.
Yeah,
but the other 6 guys for sure.
Right. So you got these entrances now, and obviously people are disappointed when Savio Vega gets announced. I feel bad for him too because he's like, you can tell he notices that nobody gives a fuck that he's there, but he comes out like trying to get some confidence, like, yeah, what's up, yeah. And he comes out with barbed wire and a trash lid to try to, I don't know, maybe it just makes him seem a little bit more badass that he comes out with that. Because Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack, they come out with a shit ton of weapons in their trash cans and shit. So, yeah, I feel bad for Savio there. But he actually ends up performing pretty damn good in this match too. So he went to work and he did a damn good job in the spot that he had to be in. And the crowd basically, I think they just moved on from it. Like, yeah, fuck it. Let's just watch this car wreck match. And they enjoyed it. Even though, they wanted HBK, of course.
Yeah, but they didn't disappoint. I mean,
no, it wasn't disappointing.
I don't know how much better this match is with HBK.
Well, there's definitely a different direction you could go with things, though. Like, if HBK's there, then maybe they're able to get Tyson to show up and do something for this match. You also get more possible confrontation between HBK and Austin.
Yep, that's true.
But then it also works, too, like, when it builds up to WrestleMania, they haven't had any matches against each other.
Yeah, exactly, which is an issue they have now. It's not a repeat every week.
So there's the good and the bad to it, I guess.
Decide to do something new and then repeat that for another couple of weeks. Like, let's have these guys fight 8 times in 3 weeks.
Yeah, and you get to the point where you're numb of it. It's like, didn't I see this already?
Yeah.
Didn't I see AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan like 3 times this past month before it was at Royal Rumble? So just dumb. All right, so these ring entrances, I feel like it's like what I'm doing here. I'm taking too long to get through these damn ring entrances. They took 8 minutes to get through the ring entrances. All these guys. Okay, 8 minutes. So you know that they're just trying to kill some time on the show, so these guys don't have to be in the ring for as long as they might have to be. So they kind of drag all this out. And the Road Dogg and Billy Gunn are great for extending the entrance because they talk through it all, so they can go longer. So you had the New Age Outlaws. They come out in a Tennessee Oilers t-shirts to kind of rub it into Houston that they just lost their team.
Yeah, they did. That's right.
So this is prior to Tennessee taking on the name Titans. So this was just early on in the change of ownership. I like Tennessee Oilers though. That was cool. I feel like that would have worked too if they just kept that.
Yeah,
Tennessee Oilers. The color scheme is the same exact thing. It's they got the blue and the white still.
I'm kind of glad they didn't, because one of the issues I have with sports teams is like when like their team name has nothing to do with the city. Like the Los Angeles Lakers. Should they really be the Los Angeles Lakers anymore? No.
Not anymore.
So
it makes sense with their Minnesota Lakers. Makes sense.
Exactly.
The Great Lakes.
Yeah.
But you go to LA, there's no fucking lakes.
So it's just kind of like, oh, I'm sure they don't drill for oil in Tennessee. But not as near, they're probably not known for it. Like Houston and Texas is. So.
Right. Yeah, I like the names being geographically or historically.
Yeah, historically, some kind of connection.
All right. Yep. Or even just like it's the state bird.
Yes, it's better than
the animal.
Yeah, the Lakers.
Like Tampa Bay Rays, Devil Rays because they're in Tampa.
Yep.
There's Devil Rays, I guess, in the water.
Can't say that anymore. They're not Devil
San Jose
Rays.
Sharks. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Can't even say Devil Rays. PC world. All right, so you got these long entrances. Everyone comes out. As I said, Cactus Jack and Chainsaw come out with a shit ton of weapons, so we know this is going to be crazy match. It's non-sanctioned. It's no DQ. Austin makes his way out. Crowd goes nuts. JR is basically like, this is the loudest I've ever heard. This is one of the greatest ovations that I've ever heard before. And it did. It was a great pop. People were fucking excited to see Austin. Especially after the night that they went through, all the shit, the sucky ass pay-per-view. They're just waiting for Austin to come out like, finally he's here.
The savior.
So the match is going to begin at the 2-hour, 14-minute mark. So if you go to the network and you just go to like the spot where it has the match, you got to sit through 8 minutes of entrance. So if you want to just get right into the match, it's at 2 minutes, 2 hours and 14 minutes, 2 hours, 14 minutes, 40 seconds. And Austin's going to come in like a bat out of hell. He's going to have a garbage lid. He's just going to start whacking everybody. Whack, 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 whack. All over the place. And there's just like hardcore action going on all over the place. I thought it was hard to keep up with at times. Like, what the hell's going on? So I tried to kind of focus on Austin because we're doing an Austin show. But a lot of it is mostly Cactus Jack, Chainsaw Charlie, and the New Age Outlaws. It's basically that match with a little bit of Austin, a little bit of Owen Hart, a fair amount of Savio Vega, and barely any Triple H is what's happening here.
Yep.
So it's supposed to be a tag match, but Earl Hebner hasn't gained any control and hasn't got anybody into the corners to set up a situation of a tag match. And frankly, it doesn't even matter if it is, because there's no rules. So why even have it as a tag match? If there's no rules, they don't have to tag each other. So basically, there's not a tag match going on. And I thought that was perfect, though, because Earl Hebner is never able to enforce the rules anyway. So
yes, this is like made for him.
Yeah, perfect match for him.
He's like, oh, great, I just get to be a mime the whole time?
Now, Savio and Austin, we did episode 2, Savio Vega. They're going to have a little bit of a go at it here, and they're going to go back to their days of ringmaster in early Stone Cold. And they're going to battle for a little bit here and there throughout this match. You're going to see a brutal powerbomb of Chainsaw Charlie. He goes through 2 chairs, and that is kind of like when the match slows down.
Yep.
At that point, people are like, oh, shit. And then the crowd kind of calms down. The match kind of gets in order. The wrestlers actually take their spots in the corner. and it won't last long, but it's a turning point in the match where things are starting to get a little bit more organized. And the guys are probably tired as hell already from just all the running around they did in the first
the lifting,
5 minutes there.
Lifting chairs,
lifting
putting them downstairs, all that shit. That does a toll,
Right.
too.
So they're probably like, all right, let's get in the corners now and take a breather. So Chainsaw's taking the biggest beating throughout this match.
Yeah, he is.
Like, it's just nonstop getting his ass kicked. When Austin's in the corner, too, he takes the trash barrel and just, like, whips it at Billy Gunn. I thought that looked awesome. Just hucked the damn thing at him, trash can. And now it's at 2 minutes, 24 2 hours. I keep fucking up the times. I think it's getting too late.
They're a little blurry looking at him.
Yeah. It's 2 hours, 24 minutes, and 15 seconds where Austin's going to chuck that can at Billy Gunn. So definitely check that out. It's pretty funny. You have Cactus Jack. He's going to get the mandible claw on Road Dogg and Billy Gunn. But then Triple H is going to do like the one thing he does the whole match and give a low blow. I really think that's like the only thing he did. Nothing else stood out that Triple H did. He's going to just punch Cactus Jack in the nuts. That's it. So Cactus Jack is going to get wrapped up in barbed wire by Savio Vega, which looked fucking brutal.
Yeah, it does.
It's all in his mouth and everything.
I get like cringy watching that. Barbed wire sucks. I've had to like, handle barbed wire, and that shit blows.
Yeah, Savio Vega even had those gloves on too.
Yeah.
To deal with the barbed wire. So as I was saying, it was a non-sanctioned match, but you got a WWF ref in the match. The WWF appointed a wrestler in the match. So it seems pretty sanctioned to me.
Yeah, we're going to go out and make an official decision here. This is sanctioned.
So it's funny because you'd be thinking, like, what the fuck's the ref even doing here? Like, what's the point? And JR probably senses that the viewers might be thinking that. So he jumps in and he says, the referee not really needed much here in this non-sanctioned match, but, he's needed for a pinfall or submission. So it's like, all right, at least he's trying to make sense of it, even though that doesn't even really make much sense, because why does there need to be a winner of a non-sanctioned match? It's just basically a fight.
Yeah.
So
it's like till someone quits.
Yeah, right, until they just walk off and say, all right, fuck this.
Yeah, we're done. Grudge settled.
Yeah. But anyway, it's the wrestling world. It's how it is. You got to have the 3 count or a submission. So now they have Savio tying up Cactus Jack in his barbed wire. Cactus is trying to get to the corner to make a tag, and the crowd's chanting for Austin, loudly. Austin. They want him in the ring, so they're hoping that for the hot tag there. So you have Austin just trying to reach out to him. Cactus is taking brutal chair shots at this point, but then he finally makes that hot tag to Austin at 2 hours, 31 minute mark. And Austin's going to get in there, just clear house, and it pretty much wraps up right there. He's going to hit Road Dogg with the stunner, and he's going to get the pinfall victory at 2 hours and 32 minutes, 20 seconds, which gives us an 18-minute match. So 18 minutes plus the 8 minutes. So lengthy segment overall, and they spent a lot of time in the match. 18 minutes went by pretty quick, too, watching it, because there was just so much going on.
Yeah.
But that's not the end of it there. It's going to be some action in the post-match. So Austin's going to continue to stun. He's going to stun Billy Gunn. Triple H is just hanging on the apron. He doesn't get in the ring. So Austin just punches him off. And then Triple H just stays out of the ring, doesn't come back up. And everybody that's outside the ring, they just, like, disappear. Like, everyone just seemed to, like Owen Hart just won the match. I can understand Cactus Jack and Chainsaw being hurt, and just kind of like making their way out. But
yeah,
Owen Hart's kind of just like nothing really happened to him. So then he just leaves. He's like, all right, we won.
All right, well, later.
So you only have Austin left in the ring, and then you can see Billy Gunn walking away, leaving, Road Dogg leaving, and Triple H. You don't see him anymore. But then you see Chyna. Chyna walks in, and Austin's celebrating. He gets down. Chyna gets face-to-face with him. And then Chyna pushes Austin. And then she does it again.
Yeah, she's really pushing his buttons here.
Yeah, and Austin's like, what the fuck? He's looking around like, huh? And he's just trying to leave. He's trying to get out of the ring.
Yeah.
And then when he's trying to get out of the ring, she like slaps him on the back, and he turns around. And then she gives him the double birds, and Austin like just smirks like, what the fuck is wrong?
Like, you're gonna make me do this. You're making me do this. You're like, you did this to yourself.
Yeah, he like looks at the camera, like shakes his head. So Austin goes back in. She's tied up with Earl Hebner, but when she turns around, kick to the gut, bam, stunner. The crowd goes nuts. So another great moment there is, it's been building up to this. People want to see China get a little stunner there.
Yeah, because she always kind of gets a free pass because she's a woman.
Right. Not that we condone violence to women, but
no.
China's a different beast.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
So you have Austin, grabs the mic, gets the oh hell yeah as the show ends. Crowd's loving him. This is like the height of Austin at this point. He's not the champ yet, but it's everyone's behind him. They want him to be the champ. He's the guy.
Yeah.
And you can just see the audience just loves the dude.
That's why
and he's in Texas.
Yeah, that's
too.
why people are watching.
Right. So, skull rating. What do you got for a skull rating on this match?
I'm going to get a 3.5 skulls.
3.5?
Yeah.
All right, it's a little more generous than me. I know you like the hardcore stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot more than me, probably. And you love Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack. Not that I don't, but I know they're some of your favorites.
Yeah. Yep.
So, yeah. Mine's a little downgraded there. I was going to go 3, but I went 2.5 skulls. I thought it was entertaining, but you had very limited Triple H, Owen, and even Stone Cold. Savio Vega as the surprise entrant or as the WWF ordered replacement. That was kind of disappointing, even though he did a good job in the match. So you had that initial disappointment of, Savio Vega, but then it's like, oh, yeah, that's right, Savio Vega, he's a damn good worker.
Yeah,
same feeling that we got like when Austin was in the feud with Savio Vega.
Yeah,
like, you watch the matches.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, the matches are freaking awesome with Austin and Savio Vega. The Caribbean strap match. So he did a good job in the match too. But basically, like I said earlier, it's like a Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack versus New Age Outlaws match with just a couple other people helping out. So good, entertaining. 2.5 skulls for me. All right, so that concludes No Way Out. That concludes our January into February. But let's get into the house show rundown. And you're going to see that basically they were practicing this match throughout the previous month. So on January 25th, 1998, Philadelphia, it's Steve Austin, Terry Funk, and Cactus Jack defeating The Rock and the New Age Outlaws. And at the end of the match, Austin stuns China. On January 27, 1998, in Hartford, Connecticut, the same exact thing happens. And then on January 31st, 1998, similar match, just switched up a little bit. You have Steve Austin, Cactus Jack, and Owen Hart defeating The Rock and the New Age Outlaws. And China gets stunned at the end. You get February 1st, same thing happens there again. February 6th, 98, St. Louis. You have Austin, Funk, Cactus Jack defeating The Rock and New Age Outlaws. February 12th, Miami, Florida. Steve Austin, Cactus Jack, Terry Funk defeat Triple H and the New Age Outlaws in a no DQ match. February 14th in Tampa, Florida. Same thing happens there. Repeat. And then it brings us to February 15th. And then they have that same match again, basically. So they were practicing on all the house shows leading up to it. So Austin, Cactus Jack, Terry Funk working on their chemistry together as a team. Owen Hart sprinkled in there a couple times. And then always against the New Age Outlaws and rotating between The Rock with the New Age Outlaws or Triple H with the New Age Outlaws. And also working on those stunners to China at the end of the matches too.
Yeah. So when she gets on TV, she takes it, she doesn't look awkward.
Right.
Doesn't ruin the moment.
Yep. So a lot of practice leading up to that. So JV, you have any final thoughts before we move on?
No final thoughts tonight, man.
I hear you. There's a lot of information there in those past 4 episodes.
Yeah,
in the
covered it. I think we nailed it all.
Covered a good amount.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do going forward for the next couple of weeks, guys, is the build to WrestleMania. It's a pretty long one. So we're here, where we left off is February 15th, 1998. WrestleMania 14 is going to be March 29th. So that leaves 6 Raws in between this pay-per-view and WrestleMania 14. So 6 episodes to cover in one sitting, one episode for us is probably too much.
Yeah, long.
It'll be long. We don't want to go longer than we go normally now at this point. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover the rest of February in the first episode in March of Raw next week. So we'll be covering 3 Raws and all that Austin does on those 3 Raws and any side notes that may happen that are interesting we'll talk about. And then the following week, we will cover the remaining Raws leading up to WrestleMania 14 and talk about the WrestleMania 14 match, Austin versus Stone Cold. So our road to WrestleMania is extending a little bit, 1 week longer. So next week, the rest of February in the first episode in March of Raw, and then the following week we'll be heading to WrestleMania. And then also that following Saturday after we release what will be episode 22 covering WrestleMania 14, we'll do a watch along of the match, Austin versus HBK, on February 23rd. So February 23rd, we'll drop a watch along of that match. Okay, so that's what we got on tap for the next 2 weeks. The rest of February into March, and then March up to WrestleMania 14. And then a nice little watch along for y'all. All right, so before we get out of here, I want to give a couple shout outs to our brother podcast, Talking Taker. Talking Taker's digging up the career of The Undertaker just like we do here on the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast. And these guys have been at it for a while, and they're covering the year 2001 of The Undertaker's career. So they've been in it for a decade already, from 91 up to 2001 at this point. So they're in September of 2001 now. It's the Unforgiven pay-per-view, and they're covering the Brothers of Destruction, Kane and The Undertaker, versus Chronic. Chronic is a team that came over from WCW. Both guys had history in WWF. You have Brian Adams and Brian Clark. That's Crush and Adam Bomb.
Adam Bomb. His steampunk goggles.
Yeah. So that's Talking Taker. Check those guys out. And then also take a listen to Booking the Territory, the unprofessional wrestling podcast, where they're being very unprofessional while they cover NWA, WCW Saturday night episodes. They're currently in 1987. And their most recent episode, or this upcoming episode that they drop on Thursday night, will be from October 24th, 1987. And then later this week on Sunday, they'll be covering Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And they're currently up to episode 129, which is July 16th, 1994. So take a listen to those 2 podcasts, Talking Taker and Booking the Territory. And you can help us out by following us on Twitter and our Facebook page at Bottom Line Cast. And you can reach out to me and JV on Twitter at MPRU83. That's me, Mike Prue, and JV at John Van Damage. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week with some more of February 1998 and some more Stone Cold shenanigans. So thanks for listening, guys. So long.